Whatever. Go live. Whatever. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully I have the settings correctly and you can hear me on the microphone. A few people already checking in. Tim's here. Fedora Gent's here. AWG's here. Said he's boxing up watches he sold on his sale video. Dane, #1 troll killer's here. I'm not even wearing a watch. I was making videos, man. I'm trying to, I posted up that video yesterday. I told you guys I'm trying to catch up. I'm waiting to see if Calico joins. I sent him a link. He's doing something. I don't know what he's doing. Thanks. Figured I'd wear one of my Hawaiian shirts. They're super comfortable. I'm going to throw some watches over on the table so we can have some watches to look at. I have a fresh batch of watches. Oh, I should probably show you. So there's that guy. I got a bunch of Seikos in. We have the GMT Sumo Quartz. I think is that solar too? I think it might even be solar. We have this guy here. Nice bright vivid colorway. I got a bunch of Seikos in, guys. Titanium. This guy here. Blue dial with a legit date magnifier. We have an SLA. If you have money burning a hole in your pocket and you want a more baller Seiko, there you go. That's your baller Seiko. Wow, baller-ish. We have a Seiko that I'm probably going to buy. I'm probably not going to send this one back. This is that MM200 Reduce GMT in the green colorway. I'm digging that too much. So that one's probably going to stay in my collection. A Graham. Maybe I'm the only one that likes these watches. I don't know. But I think they're awesome. I actually really do like these Grahams. I got to turn it this way, though, so everybody can see the steampunk kind of looking crown. There we go. I have a Tag Heuer Senna. That one's really cool, too. Special edition. I don't know if that's in the screen. Yeah, it is. So there's a few watches. Here's what I was wearing today. Actually wore this guy. So, okay, so Calico is in. I think he's on. I got to add him in and stuff like that. All right. So I'm also over here like working on videos too. Very unprofessional. Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. I'm trying to process videos. I'm trying to do too much. I think it's fine though. I think if more people went through life, anytime there's like a little problem or hiccup in your life, if you just literally said those words, I think it's fine. Sometimes you might have to convince yourself, but if you say it a few more times, you probably will. I think it's fine. We have a $2 here super chat from Mr. Brave Sailor, Rob's favorite Discord member in the house. I mean, he gave me $2, so sure. We're going to see you soon, man, in a few days. So let's add, because this is going to be a shorter live stream, guys. I'm still kind of, can you guys see those all right? I know it's not super clear. Let's add Mr. Calico Basin to the chat, and we're going to have a focused conversation here. We're going to talk about customer service. So let's add, here's Calico Basin. Can we hear Calico?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I think it's fine.
If I can hear you, we think it's fine. I'm pretty sure everybody else can hear you. So hopefully everyone else can hear you.
Is there too much of a reflection in my shades?
No, it's fine.
No? Are you sure? I think it's fine too, because I could put on my Mimo glasses.
That'd be pretty baller with that shirt too.
Yeah, I know, right? All right.
So our conversation today, back up a little bit. It's been a while Thank you very much, Mr. Calico Basin, for joining me. I know we all have busy schedules. I really enjoy having you on the live streams and having conversations with you. For those that don't know, Calico and I are pretty good friends. We talk a lot, we talk often, and we have some great conversations to the point that at the end of them, oftentimes we'll go like, that was a podcast. We literally could have recorded that, and that was a podcast. So I think
I agree. I agree. It never stops. I mean, every day,
right.
every day. Just
Yep.
the other day, we were talking about berries and
Wait,
customer service about berries. I'm
okay, hold
jumping.
on.
I'm jumping. I'm jumping.
That's fine. Hold
Jumping.
on. But if we're going to
Right.
go there, people need to
Right.
understand what we're doing
Oh.
here. So when we're going to
Mm.
talk customer service, we're going to talk about a bunch of different brands. Now, if the brand had really good customer service, we'll tell you the brand name. We're not going to change the facts of the story. But I don't know what's the proper way to say that. If the customer service bar was set so low,
Yeah.
this is
We'll talk about
okay.
berries.
We're going to change the name of the brand and to protect their identity. Okay. So, in what Calico's talking about is a brand called Berries. Okay. It's not a real brand, it's a hypothetical brand. We changed the name. We are talking about a real story and a real event that actually happens with this particular brand to
Mhm.
you, to myself, and to some other good people that we know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just our small little community. There's a ton of other people out there that also have similar experiences with them, but
Yeah,
they
we're
don't
not
have
going to give away that a brand is an EDC watch brand. We won't tell you about any specifics, and we won't mention the location of this brand in the Pacific Northwest. We're not trying to identify anybody by any means.
right. We've changed all of those details in to protect their identity because we don't want to harm any business. They're already doing that on their own. So they don't
Agreed.
need our help. We're just sharing the
Agreed.
story. And Scott's saying, are you guys talking about Yama? No, but I will tell you that I have had some very big issues with Yama, and I'm fine with calling Yama out with directly with their name, and I will say to their face.
See, I've had no bad experience with Yama. I've purchased 2 of their watches, Rob. They were both flipped within 4 or 5 months, but both of the watches I received were great, working order, good deal, great value, and I liked them, experienced them, and sent them on. I had no issues. Fast shipping, great experience with Yama. No issues whatsoever. So
I've had an issue getting the watch. It just hasn't happened. They've shipped me many watches, and I've never gotten them.
So I haven't had that happen yet. I paid my money. I got my watch. So.
Oh, right. So that was the issue. Is there's like these weird import things, and I'm like, no, it's a review watch. I'm not going to become an import exporter to review your watch. Like, figure it out.
Sure.
So,
Yeah. If they're sending you a watch, for review, and I've had a number of vendors do that, a couple international. One comes to mind. They actually take care of those things. Christopher Ward, they will send me the watch. No issues with receiving a watch for Christopher Ward. But after a year of trying to send it back, you feel like you own it.
again,
You feel like
that's
you
not
own
a
it.
problem with Christopher Ward, though. It
No,
is because they need to own up to.
it's their
See,
vendor.
this is funny because I will straight up bash certain brands openly, and I will tell you the names. But in this case, it's not Christopher Ward. Christopher Ward is a great brand. They have great watches. My issue is with their advertising, and I probably have one of their cards here. They're constantly changing. We've had the same guy, Eric, for a while now, with Idea or Ideal Network or something like that. They're terrible. I'll say it to his face. I have said it to their face. I've told the CEO, like, I don't have a problem naming names, but for this particular story, for some reason, we feel the need to change the name. I don't know why. I think maybe it's because of who they know and the measures they've taken to protect their brand.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
I'm just not willing to enter into
Yeah. So there's a
Any
lot
sort
of
of litigation.
brands. There's a lot of brands that you and I have experienced together that are great in customer service too. So I think, maybe we should talk about some of the brands that have excellent and good customer service
Let's do
before
that.
talking about berries, right?
Let's do
Let's
that.
focus on the
Let's.
positive ones, right?
How do I get rid of this one?
Oh, wow, I feel bigger now. Yeah. Growing out this beard for California Mimo meat. You went silent, Rob. Can't even hear you. There, you're back now. I hear your audio now.
All that is weird. Okay, so now you can hear me?
Like Verizon.
No, I know why. I have to have that third screen. Whatever. It's
Okay.
like a three-way here, but one of us isn't doing anything. So,
So,
um,
yeah. That's a good customer service. You know what? I've got a good customer service experience on a watch I just bought that you didn't know about. I bought it, and I actually have it here because I was going to talk about colorful watches with our shirts and Hawaiian shirts and the Hawaiian theme with Mimos coming up on Friday, Saturday that we're going to be doing in California. That meet there, the watch meet. But it's where is it? Weiss watches. Okay, so for me, Weiss watches. It's semi-American made, right? He was in LA for a while, but I had reached out and his family, his wife answered the phone. They
Whitney.
worked with me. I did specialized engraving on the back here that makes it very personal to me. And they went above and beyond. In fact, I have a larger wrist, 8-inch wrist, and they were just accommodate. They got the extra band, no extra charge, did a large on it. I have no problem with Weiss. They went above and beyond in my book, made it special for my birthday watch this year, and that's a watch brand I'd like to highlight. Someone that's in the United States doing their best from the ground up, trying to make a watch.
I don't have a problem with Weiss. I actually, when I had that watch that I picked up that I already sold, um, I wanted the new strap, so I ordered a
Yeah,
new strap from Weiss. Great communication. They shipped the strap fast. It showed up, packaged nicely, and the product was perfect. I have no problem with Weiss.
I wish he would put something on the dial again in that negative space like LA, Los Angeles. If he put
It should
it
say
doesn't have
Nashville
to be made
TN.
in Tennessee. Right. It doesn't have to say made in, just
Nope.
Nashville, Tennessee. I
Right.
do know why he has expressed how come he's not doing that, because his parts are sourced from beyond just Nashville, Tennessee. There's some are maybe Kentucky, some are this, and he wouldn't want to just identify that it's just that. And I think that's that purist in him, that background he has in his education and knowledge. But Weiss, that comes to mind. What about you, Rob? What's a watch for you? Customer service. Brand.
Um, I'm trying to think of something because oftentimes my stories are going to be connected with the fact that I'm Random Rob and I probably get treated differently, right? So I got to think outside of that. Where have I had good customer service with watches that were not influencer based,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like that's
Mm-hmm.
why I typically don't really talk about that very much.
Okay.
Um,
So I can think of a
because
couple for you.
it's not going to be the average person isn't maybe going to have the same experience that I did based on the fact that when I buy a watch from these places or get a watch from these places, they know who I am.
Well, let's be honest, the bar should be higher then to meet a customer service standard. If they know you are a YouTube reviewer, an influencer in some ways, wouldn't they want to then raise that bar and meet that standard a little bit higher? So even though you're saying it's different, it actually should almost be a higher standard because of the platform you have, and that you could put a lot of vendors or companies on blast, on point. You don't, because there are back end dealings with vendors that's just normal business with anybody you deal with, right? But I would say, even though your experience may be different, Rob, it's still something that says something when somebody, even though you are who you are, um, doesn't meet that standard. Say they well, that's the berry company we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But so I think you've had some watches. I know with some local people that when you've said something, they just made it right. They just made it right.
Yeah, I mean, I think back to even before the channel, I had purchased watches through Long Island Watch, and
Mark,
Mark
yeah.
and his team, and even back then, it was probably literally just Mark, was always phenomenal with communication, quick shipping, and you got the product you wanted. Everything went smooth. For some reason, sometimes when you take a drink, your thing cuts out and then comes back. It's interesting.
It's the
Like your
power.
your whole picture shuts off, like it's searching for
Really?
signal.
Wow.
Will
Well,
Carey
let's
with
see.
a super chat $5 here says, "My favorite customer service when it came to watches is Sunday Funday, Rob, and is not the top." Okay, that's thanks for the super chat. So, I would say Long Island Watch was probably always consistently a very good customer service oriented company. And I would like to believe that Mimos and Exquisite and Saltzman's and all the other companies I work with, until somebody tells me otherwise, uh, and I would like to try to resolve that. I don't want to be associated with a company that has mediocre to terrible customer service. So
So that's
all
good you
those,
bring that up. You're bringing up authorized dealers, and you're bringing up a different element from, say, gray market that sometimes I'll go to. You're talking about Saltzman's, Exquisite, Mimos, Mark. These are authorized dealers of a lot of brands. And there you're talking about your good customer service experiences. And I've met every one of the people you mentioned
yep,
there personally. And I can say they will do a lot for people to help them out. Mark will take the shirt off his back to really help you out with any problem you're having. And I'd imagine on a Long Island watch, he'll really do what he can, unless you just abuse that watch. He's going to take care of you. And same thing for some of these other brands or the ADs that you mentioned. However, did you have that experience with gray market watches?
um, I mean, I've bought some stuff from Joma. Never really had any issues. I bought some watches there, but I bought other things through Joma because they sell a ton of other stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
I haven't really had too many problems with them. I'm trying
Right.
to think what other vendors I buy that like they have no idea who I am. So
Sure.
you're just every customer, that's who you are, right? So I haven't had any
I've
issues
bought
there.
I've bought watches from Joma, Omega, and I took it to Omega. They didn't have a problem doing anything for me under, even though it wasn't purchased from them directly, it still carried an Omega warranty and it came with information. So I was kind of lucky there. I've heard other stories. Oris recently, I have heard stories of people who have purchased an Oris through gray market, and Oris will not necessarily take care of them under warranty. So and they disclaim that on their website. And but then again,
Yeah.
that's another thing. I haven't had a problem with an Oris watch. They all work.
I know some people that have.
Well, I have an
Um,
Oris right here, an Oris regulator. I see color, Rob, color. Look at that. Look at that red band.
that is a really
Look at
cool
that.
watch. I would
Look at
actually
that.
like to video that watch.
Yeah, titanium comes with the band. This thing is just it's a great watch. Color
We
though.
didn't do
Colors. I'm
what
into
were you wearing
colors.
today for watch? We didn't do a wrist check.
You know what? I am wearing a Zodiac Sea Wolf. Let me see if I can get that on
Oh, that's
camera
on
where the
bracelet too. I didn't know it was on
sun
bracelet.
bracelet. Yeah, it's got that orange lume on it. Picked it up on a great, well, anyway, I picked it up at a great value, great
Yeah.
price. Took a chance on it. No issues whatsoever. Been very happy. Took it up to Yellowstone this past weekend with me. And it's just a very comfortable watch. Zodiac just has that it factor going. And this one here did it along with some of the other watches you and I have experienced with Zodiac. I just really like that brand. And I like the interactions with the company and their representatives. They really are passionate about watches and what they do with them. What do you got
I,
on, Rob?
I kind of showed it earlier. It's the
Yeah.
I can't I can't I got this other
Yeah.
camera
It's
up
it's
here.
weird when you hold it to the camera. There you go. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, Seiko.
I already forgot what it's called. It's an SSK something or whatever. I don't know.
You got
I
your
like it.
visitor watch with an orange dial. You got that right handy?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the two oranges. You know what? Orange watches. I'm telling you, there's something about an orange watch, and everybody puts one off. I have a Breitling orange watch. I love it. And two differences of the orange colors there and how orange can be so different and change the look of a watch there. Now,
Well,
Visitor,
so
I
the
think
Seiko has more of like a shimmer to it. It's
the sunburst,
definitely
right?
like more. Mm, I don't know. I don't know what the correct definition. Whereas the Visitor orange is more of an enamel look.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it might look childish on this orange camo
Wow.
strap, but
Wow, it's very large.
the Seiko is definitely more like Seiko-ish
Right.
with that
Right.
dial
Here's
shimmer
the
orange
other
to
one.
it.
There's the Zodiac
Yeah,
watermelon titanium, right? There's
I
some
love
orange.
this.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. So wristwatch check. Look where we went down the road, talked about oranges. Yeah, anyway, I know, right?
So I am going to keep this live kind of short, just because I'm still recovering from being sick. I'm drinking water, so you know it's real. Mm. And I already made 4 videos, and I need to like build, like finish those. Like I recorded those, but I need to like finish the process and get those uploaded. And I need to try to make 4 tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Maybe a couple on Thursday because I got to pack, and then I'm taking off Friday.
I expected more. Slacking.
I don't have it in me. I just can't.
You got to
So
do it.
let's talk about. We talked about some good
Berries.
stuff. Some other people chimed in. Let's talk about Barry's watches. Now, backstory on this. I'm going to start off. I'm going to let Calico take over a little bit, but May 4th.
May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Yes. A very cool looking special release was done, and Calico and I both got excited about them. We had
Really
already
excited.
talked about the brand for a year prior to this because we seen a Barry's watch in the wild at a Baltimore Orioles game. Very cool looking watch. I still think
GMT.
they're very cool looking watches. I
GMT
still
watch.
kind of want one.
It's very cool. Very cool mystique
very
about
cool.
the brand, the watch, everything. It's
Right.
great.
Which makes us even worse. They're like, we wanted it so bad. We still both think they're great. They're cool looking watches.
May the 4th, limited edition put out.
And
Very
just
limited. Super
they were just
limited.
terrible, the whole ordeal, and still is. So
Berries.
we both bought watches.
Same day.
Yeah, super limited edition.
Selling out. There were only 2 left.
They sold out.
2 left. I got one order number. He got the one right after me.
These are not cheap
like a grand.
watches.
Like a grand. It was like a grand. It was like a grand.
Like $1,000.
$1,000 right there, paid up front.
For
they had pictures, everything. They were ready. They were built. You could see them lined up. There were a total of, what we figure, 10 total. 10 total.
So this company has social media presence. This fake company, Barry's, that we're talking about, doesn't exist.
In the Pacific Northwest, if they did exist.
They do have an online social media presence. However, they don't. Not only do they not encourage, they completely eliminate any sort of interaction with their online social media presence. Meaning that
comments allowed.
No comments on any of their platforms. So you have no way to interact with them. So if you have a terrible experience, you can't even share that experience. Like, so that to me right away is a pretty big red flag. If they're not open and transparent with their customer base and they're just suppressing them or
but I didn't know that. We didn't know that, Rob, when we purchased a Barry's watch, because we were so excited. Never think what happened is going to happen next that we're going to talk about in this customer service experience, hypothetically speaking, in that you could have this really happen to you and that it could be shared across 3 people out of 10 watches.
Yeah. And that's just 3 people that know each other.
That bought, of this limited edition, 10 watches, 30% of that market was amongst Rob, myself, and somebody else.
He's in the
And
chat. It's Will Carey. He's in the chat. So
we
So
spent
we ordered the
$1,000. Yeah.
we ordered
When's
the
it gonna come
watches.
here? A week. Yeah.
We wait. We know we got to wait. We're patient people. Yes, we want instant gratification, but we're patient. We'll wait. Whatever. It's fine.
Let's
Let us
talk
know.
about the
Communicate
watch,
with
Rob.
us. Huh?
Let's talk about the watch. What's so special about this watch that it was really special? Why is this watch such a, you don't think this could happen? I mean, we're talking an EDC watch, well known across, I would say, that culture of knives, guns, kind of just you feel like you're part of something. There's another brand that comes to mind, Sanjin. That's not who we're talking about. Sanjin's a brand that has EDC watches, and they put them out, and they have a connection to the armed forces and
Oh,
people
sure.
who serve in the military.
Sure.
I've had one of their watches. I think they're growing as a brand. They're every iteration of their watch is getting better. It's not for me. My tastes are just different, but from their point of view and their customer, they're very loyal. It's brand. They're hard to get, and if you've got one, it's kind of a bond, an
Yes.
experience
A
amongst a group
community.
of people, right? And so this Barry's watch is very similar too, except even more exclusive, harder to get. And so
And very community driven. That's their typical customer base. Maybe their customer base isn't necessarily a watch enthusiast, and that's what actually even probably drew us on in even more. That it was
yeah,
outside the
well,
watch enthusiast
yeah.
spotlight. It was a different world.
You're getting a watch with Cerakote coating on it. It was a May the 4th kind of edition. There were colorways driven by a big movie at one time. You feel like this was really cool, and that you're getting something so limited, nobody else will have it. And it's also a watch company that, from my understanding, they do a lot of specialized business with specialized units within different government agencies. So it's really cool branding, and you just know it's premium. And some of their watches go for a few thousand dollars.
But then, so like Michael says, he's got his eye on SWC.
I own one.
Or what's the other one that you have? It's not SWC. It's
I have the CW. Well, there's Swiss Watch Company. Then there's the gosh, what is it? It's the British military watch, CW.
Is it CWC?
Well, CWC. Yeah, CWC.
There are some other like military, very legitimate military branded watch, both past and current, that the watch enthusiast community already have and know about and are gravitating toward. But
yeah,
and they have CWC that you have that are more in marathon. Like you're probably going to get better customer service from those brands.
They have horology, history. They have a lot going for them. They have 30, 40 years in the business. They have customer service experience. So that's the other thing. I see what Greg's saying there. That's what is a draw to this watch. It's one of the best watches in the EDC that you can think of branded, yet very few know about it unless you're in the know. And the people that own them work for the CIA. They work for Homeland Security. They work for elite SWAT teams in the government. And you're going to see them. And when you see them, there's identifiable characteristics of this particular Barry's brand that you just go, that is that watch. I took one picture of it over a year plus ago, and I go, I want to get a watch like that. And then when I saw the price, I was like, maybe not. I mean, it was over $3,500 for this GMT automatic with some specialized characteristics. But so when Rob and I had the opportunity, we jumped on it that day instantly.
Yep.
And we think we're getting it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Well, we had seen video of the watches assembled.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, well, these are probably going to ship fairly soon, which I did get mine. I don't remember how long. It wasn't super long. I don't remember how long I waited.
Yeah, I was so excited not for you getting it before me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you specialized yours. So this is the other thing. So Rob specialized his order the day he purchased it. He added something different to it. So he wanted one of their signature red crowns put on the watch. It's a left-hand drive watch, but it's not even left-hand drive.
I mean,
It's
let's
actually at
just
the
say it
10
was a
o'clock.
blue crown or something, you know, like
Blue,
berries.
yellow,
It was like
yellow.
blueberry.
It was
yellow.
a blueberry crown, crown, but it could have been red. Okay, but I think it was blue. I'm colorblind, so I'll take Rob's word for it. And it's at the 10 o'clock position on the left hand. So it's very unique, but let's just say it's at the 7 o'clock instead. So we kind of just, but it's left hand, right? And it's Cerakoted in different colorways representing May the 4th or Star Trek Generations.
To be clear, real quick, Ohio sales, we are saying Barry's, i.e. is Barry's Watch Company. We're telling a story about terrible customer service, and the names and identity have been changed to protect the innocent in this story. We don't want to harm any watch business or anything like that.
Nope.
So we're talking about Barry's Watch Company. It's a made up watch company, and we're telling a factual story, but we changed information to hide their identity.
I like the Pacific Northwest personally, so that's why I'm saying the Pacific Northwest. I have a soft spot there for me for anything up there.
It's just a coincidence that they're actually
coincidence.
There. So I did get the watch, and I actually really loved the watch. It was super cool. However,
until you saw that pubic hair under the dial,
I don't think it was a Clarence Thomas pubic hair. I think there was something underneath the crystal, right?
This was not cocaine, but it was something under the crystal, correct?
I think it was a piece of lint or something, and it is very difficult. I've modded watches. Even if you have a clean room, it is very difficult to keep that clean and sterile. I could have taken it apart.
Did you get the blue crown you paid $100?
I didn't get the blue crown that I paid extra for. Okay, fine. You know what? They know how to make a crown and tube assembly. I thought maybe I would just contact them, and I'll be like, just send me my blue crown with stem and crown assembly. I can change it out. I'll pull the case back off. I'll change the crown. I'll actually even clean the dial. I don't even have to send you the watch. I'm capable. I'm competent. I can do this. Just don't void my warranty on it. They're like,
quartz watch, not automatic. Quartz. This is quartz. $1,000 quartz.
This is easy. This is easy stuff.
Mm-hmm,
so
void the warranty, everything. He was good with that.
Yeah. So this is easy stuff to do. I didn't do it. They said, nope, sorry. Send the watch back. We'll take care of the crown. We'll clean it up. No problem. Get it back to you. I'm like,
well, wait, that's what, 3-4 weeks, right? That's 4 weeks. That's a month now, right? You finally decided to send it back after a month, right?
No, I didn't own it for a month and send it back.
No, you by the time you decided to send it back, it had been a month since the original order, right? About that?
Yeah, probably something like that. You still haven't even received.
I have phone call. Oh yeah, one again. I just saw that. Okay, so
you come right back, but like, so Barry's never even sent you the watch. You're still going like, hey, am I going to get my watch?
I even talked to the owner of Barry's the next day because I said, I want a blue crown too. I'm sorry, Barry crown. I want one too.
Yeah.
And they said, for you don't even got to pay. We'll just do it for you. I was like, wow.
I mean,
I'm glad Rob paid for it with his cost. I got it.
Who cares? It's just a crown, right? They probably take a paint pen.
I was high on cloud 9 the next day that I got a hold of them. They answered the phone. They adjusted my order and said, sure thing, we can do that. It'll take a little bit, but we'll get it out to you. A month later, nothing still. No answer on the phone, emails, but I'm still patient because I really want this watch because Rob is just honeymooning with it so much, showing me pictures and just rubbing it in all
Barry's
the time.
watch wears great on the wrist. It's actually a really nice watch.
Great watch, right?
Which makes this all that much terrible. More terrible.
So because you send yours back.
I sent it back. I'm like, okay, maybe they'll have it a few weeks. You know, they maybe they don't do it in-house. They send it to a watchmaker. I'm patient. I don't care. I got
20
hundreds of
bucks to
watches.
send that to Florida. 20 bucks to send it to Florida. 20 bucks.
Yeah. Which I
20
told them
bucks.
I wanted my money back on that too, and they said fine, that's fine. Will said he made 4 phone calls. Will talked to him too, and said
We'll
yes.
talk to him on my behalf. We'll
Yes.
talk to him on my behalf.
And Will talked to Barry's Watches, and Barry's Watches told Will, "We'll next day air it out, second day air." They actually they second day air everything anyway. I think if I remember
that
right,
was
I got
the
mine
straw that
fast.
broke my ass after he talked to him and said it's coming, and I still didn't have it yet. Yeah.
They never gave you a tracking number. They never gave
Nothing.
Will a tracking
No.
number.
So what did I do?
Wait, they did give you a tracking number.
No, not before I did what I did. Not before I did what I did.
I thought you were tracking it.
No. There was no tracking number. We didn't get into chargebacks yet. So I got so frustrated with Barry's and customer service. It had been, Lord knows it felt like 2 months, and it may have been 2 months. It may have actually been 2 months or close to it. We were well past a month. So I am now at this point, I need $1,000. I want to go ahead and get another watch. Who knows what it will be? You know, you just start thinking of all the different things you might want to get, right? And you've tied up this kind of money, and you're like, wow, $1,000, what can I do with that? I mean, especially when you're a compulsive watch enthusiast with flips watches, buys them, and is chasing the next high on a watch, right? And so I just decided I'm going to do something I have never had to do. I've talked to them, they've emailed, broken promises, somebody else talked to him. In fact, Will, who talked to him, he was able to get one that somehow opened up miraculously, and so he bought one too. So there's a third person, and he knew what was going on with Rob and I. He still purchased anyway. So anyway, I did a chargeback. I put it into my account. I didn't use PayPal, and I didn't use a credit card. I'd actually used a debit card. So I felt like I was really on the hook on this one, and so I just did a chargeback. I said, have not shipped. Later that day, at the end of the day, I get a tracking number. I'm like,
from Barry's Watches, they sent you a tracking number the same day you did the chargeback.
Right. Now, wait a second. No. They said they were shipping it a week before, and that never happened when we'll talk. Anyway, but yes, I get a tracking number that day. So I'm tracking that, and nothing's shipping yet. It's sitting in Washington. Finally, you know, it's like days later. I think it took a lot longer before it was actually picked up by UPS, which it was supposed to be 2 days, right? It took to get to me. And at that point, on the day it kind of got here, the chargeback went through. Like I had the money back in my account, and I get this call from Barry's on my phone, and I didn't answer. I'm at work. I mean, like any other person, kind of like when you call them and it rings 30 times, 40 times, goes to voicemail, and you call 5 or 6 times a day and you never get a hold of somebody.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I'm not answering the phone. I don't even want to talk to them. So, I mean, the watch is in the mail.
Well, so they were trying to contact you.
Right. Yeah. They tried to contact me, and I saw it was delivered at UPS store to pick up because I wasn't home to sign for it. And so I'm thinking I'll go pick it up, and it's reversed. I'll reach out to them and pay them the money. I got the watch, right? So I didn't answer their call. I go to pick up that watch, and they said, we can't find it. I'm like, okay, what's going on? They said, no, they called and had that watch pulled, and it's going back to Barry's Watches. And I'm thinking to myself, the only time that they got off their ass and did shit was when it came down to the money being reversed by, obviously, on a chargeback, which is 100%, meaning they had to prove that they had a chance to tell the bank, hey, this shipped, we're not going to.
Right.
And obviously at the time that the bank had reached out to them, they didn't respond clearly. And so the bank did the chargeback, right? So they took the watch back, fine with me. I don't have a problem with it. It's going back. But it was kind of the only time they called me to say anything was when it was money. And this is 2 months later. I should have done that chargeback after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because something was going on. And looking back after Rob's experience and Will's experience too, I did the right thing. I don't even want that watch. I've moved on. It's such a bad experience with a company and customer service. that it just kills it for you. Now, Rob, tell them what happened with you. I mean, I did a chargeback.
So
I
you and
got
I are
my money,
talking.
and you got a watch out
Yeah,
there.
you and I are communicating this whole time. I already sent mine back. You told me exactly what happened with your story. So right about the same time, I'm like, I'm still talking to them. They gave me, we're shipping it. We're shipping it right now. Same thing happened. No shipping, no tracking, no shipping. And I'm like, where's my tracking? No response. They're not answering me. Now mine
They
was
said they
different.
shipped it to you. They said they shipped it to you
Yeah, but
even.
no info. So I said, you know what? I'm not playing the berries game. I already seen how they play the berries game with Joe. But they've already sent me the watch and I sent it back. I sent it back. I didn't even sent the full kit back. I just sent
Like
the watch back.
about 3 weeks
So
before you did a
so
chargeback, Rob.
I did the charge back too. And guess
No.
what? They never tried to contact me. They never emailed me. They never emailed me back going like, "Hey, send the rest of the kit back." I would have sent it. I don't care. Just like if your chargeback would have went through and you went to pick up the watch, you'd be
Yeah.
like, "Hey guys," you'd call them up and be like,
Hey,
"Hey,
I'm give them
I
the
need to
money right
pay."
away. No problem.
Right.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
we're not scum
Absolutely.
here. So, you know, I did my chargeback, no contact. They never disputed it or nothing. They
Poor
just said,
Will.
"Okay,
Poor Will.
fine."
Poor Will kept hanging on.
Will kept on hanging
He
on.
had
I assume
hope.
Will
It
did
was a
a
fairy
chargeback.
tale. You know what? This is the thing about Will. 3 weeks later, I'd hit him up every Friday. Hey, bro, you get your berries watch yet? You get your berries watch yet? No, I'm waiting. They said this, they said that. I mean, to this moment, unless he's in the chat there and says something,
He
I
is
don't know
in
if
the
he did a
chat.
chargeback or is still hoping.
Will, did
And
you are you still holding out for your Barry's watch, or did you do your chargeback?
I
I
guess
don't know. We'll see if he chimes in the comments. But
wow.
it's just insane. And the big picture on this one that Calico and I talked about in the past is the new. You know how like bars are set. Both. He said they. Oh, that's right. Will said no chargeback. They just officially refunded him. No contacting him or nothing. They just gave him his money back. Like, what is going on?
Wow. What company? I mean, but this is the thing. Now if there is a company out there with this level of customer service, but these are those red flags you look for, and you say they're taking in money, and you extrapolate $1,000 times 10 watches, that's $10,000. And say you just have a cash flow issue on any kind of company out there that's taking in money and then they don't deliver and then they kind of dole it back out to you slowly and they're able to kind of change the inflow, hoping things get better. I just got all these bad vibes on this transaction, this deal with this company. And it hasn't, well, no, it kind of has changed me a little bit. I'm a little scary about some micro brand experiences now, some really niche watch brands, companies. And we see a lot of those, Rob, you and I, and a lot of the people in this Discord chat when we go to these watch meets and these big shows that have a lot of vendors that, I don't know how fragile they are as a company and if they're taking pre-orders and we don't have a lot of reassurances that we'll get it. But fortunately in the watch industry, you do get usually what you order. I don't know if this is isolated with this company to 30% of 10 watches that were ordered on a limited edition berries,
Well,
or if this
so
is
real
bigger
quick,
picture.
conspiracy theorist in me, Joe and the Badger says, especially for watches they showed that looked already built. There was like 10 or 11 of them, right? And we're saying, yes, 3 of them were bought from us, but maybe
Yeah.
they sold 50, right? So maybe Eric's right, or you even kind of speculated that, yeah, they show 10 or 11 watches and they're all like, say, $800 or $900 each. Maybe they oversell them. They
Mm-hmm.
might send a couple of them out there, and then they end up giving the money back, but like a month or however long it takes someone to do a chargeback. But in the meantime, do they make interest on that money, or do they use it to do
I,
something
I
else?
don't
Or
think there's enough to make interest. I mean, even if you were getting paid 3% on 100,000, that's not worth the
it
risk of
doesn't make it
that.
worthwhile.
Right.
Okay.
But I will tell you, it could just be a cash flow thing in general. I just look at it this way. The watch, I'm still I'm still fascinated by their watch, the mystique about them. the people I have seen wear them are usually I'm probably not in the group of people that wear these watches, even though
Right.
I do work for the government and some things, but it's not. Um, these are really some niche market, and I wouldn't say that Barry's has any CIA connections because if they did, this might just be a front for some government agency. You never know, right? Could be
Right.
just this is just how the government moves money around, like spies like us, and this is the bowling alley, and underneath is,
You're right.
the Star Wars Command Center, right? I mean, maybe Barry's watch is just a front for some other bigger operation, and watch is just like, damn, there's an order for this damn watch. We got to make it. Crap. We don't need this money. We got millions in contracts here. Gosh dang it. Who really watches
Which
this
is maybe
shit
why
these
you don't
watch
see it in the
people?
watch enthusiast community, just because it
Right.
doesn't belong there. But
Right. This is like
the
Mission
crazy part
Impossible
is
kind of stuff.
highs and
Mhm.
lows bars are set in customer service. In
Mhm.
Calico and I were joking one day on a non-recorded podcast conversation that the bar has been set so low by Barry's watches that basically I could order a watch from anybody, and if they just ship me the watch, they've already exceeded my expectations.
Oh yeah. Yeah, right? I mean, I got a watch here. I actually got the core, the seven deadly sins kind of
Yeah,
thing. 4 days.
they shipped it. Holy cow! These guys are great. You bought a watch. They
Right.
maybe didn't even
Right.
communicate anything to you, and it just showed up, and you're like, holy crap, that's way better than Barry's.
Right. And I mean, when we're talking, and that's the thing, there's more components than just the shipping element here. Um, Rob, you actually received a watch. So between communication, what you received, but what you got even wasn't even a good specimen. This is a quartz watch, mind you, $1,000. I mean, this is dang near a third of a gray market Cartier tank, which is a quartz watch, right? And Cartier has high horology compared to Barry's, and that's such a cool watch that we were right in on it right away, right?
Yeah,
And here you get one, it's got a flake of dust in it. You specialized, you did a specialized order, you didn't get it, what you ordered, and you were willing to accept. I lost $100+ and just overlook all that because it's like I've got a Barry's watch. Even though I didn't get the blueberry crown, I'm part of that group, that club. And after a while, it grated on you with me digging in at you saying how you like that speck of dust because I didn't have my watch. And I'm like, shit on that. I mean, if I don't got mine, I'm going to. And so you sent it back. And then, ultimately you got screwed.
yeah,
You didn't even have the watch, you know?
yeah. And you know what?
Yeah.
Even further than that, and I leave the video up. I have an unboxing, and I leave it
Do
up.
you? Do you have one? I don't think you've ever videoed the Barry's watch. Just saying.
I, I have an
Hypothetically.
unboxing of
Oh,
how do I
yeah.
say this?
You say it very carefully.
I recorded an unboxing video of Barry's watches in this story. And I got to be careful with representing certain brands because, you know, I only know what I know, and it might not be a fair representation of what everybody else is experiencing from certain brands.
You can't go to a micro brand online and walk in and just return it. You can do that with fashion watches at department stores all day long. And those watches can be expensive. This experience of a customer service level that Barry's watches left with Rob, me, and a couple other people, or another person I could say personally, um, is so bad that it changes the risk you're willing to take on a brand. Now, for me, if I see elements and red flags of other people posting comments online, and they're out there for Barry's watches, you just don't think it's going to happen to you. I mean, and that's what I mean. That bar is now really
I
low to make me
legit still
happy.
take those risks. I literally took that same risk with making new challenge coins, and I just got them today, and they look like they came out of a bubble gum machine. They look terrible.
Dog shit.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
didn't pay a lot of money for them. I mean, like it was like $750 for like 200 coins. So that's what, two something a coin. It's not terrible. But I guess my expectations didn't meet the reality.
They're
So
pretty bad. They're pretty bad. I have a lot
they're
of
pretty bad.
challenge
So I'm gonna.
clients. Rob, you've had some. This one came out as though somebody sneezed on a piece of metal and it gooped around, and somehow it shows a watch. Show them, Rob. You got to show them. You got to show them.
I don't have one here.
Oh,
Like it's.
oh,
I don't want to show it. It's bad. I'm not.
yeah.
So I'm
It's
talking to
bad.
the company. Like I'm not. Again, I'm not mad. It's just.
How do you make it right if that's their standard? You can't make that right if that's the quality they put out, right?
And that was the
And
conversation I had with them. And maybe that's the case with Barry's watches. If you were to have that conversation with them now, they're just like, nobody has complained, nobody has done chargebacks except for you yahoos, because you didn't get your watch within 4 months because your
let's
watch
talk
has
about
a spec
customer
of.
service. Let's talk about that. 4 months. Christopher Ward, the Bel Canto. That watch has damn near an 11-month wait list, but they are communicating all the way with everybody through that process, through delay. They've only asked for a small fraction up front on the overall cost to secure a watch with, I think right now, if you ship date is March 2023, March 2020, 24. So you can order one now. You're looking at probably midsummer next year. They're communicating with people. They're putting it out there. They're letting you know. So there's a customer service point of view on somebody that's saying, this is a specialized watch, the Bel Canto, and we're
Right.
doing a lot for you. So that's customer service to me. I know we have interesting experiences with their
Transparent, clear
company.
communication.
Right. All the way. And I know, and that's only one I can think of right now in my mind that's popping up. And because that's customer service, right? 700s a car.
I know what I just did. I know I said I just dismissed, $700 on those challenge coins. I'm not saying it. I felt that. Like I did feel that, but it was a learning experience. So now I'm going to be more cautious when I go to do the next the challenge coin that I want to do to meet my expectations. And I might have to pay more. Maybe I jokingly told you maybe it's $10 a coin. I know that's a ridiculous amount of money for a challenge coin, but to meet my expectations for this coin, maybe it's $10 a coin. And if that's the case, I want to see it. I want a proof. I want to see that it's going to be what I want before I give you $2,000.
It might be worth $100 if they can do the run, a single stamping of one and send it out for $100. It might be worth the cost of a proof before you commit $1,000 or $1,500. Sometimes you get what you pay for, right? And if it's too good to be true, it is. I think of watches the same. I just showed a Core watch a little bit ago. Those are incredibly affordable. And then you've got these Oris and Wise and stuff. Those are a few $1,000 watches, right? We have ranges of watches we just enjoy to experience between Rolex and Invicta, right? And $700 isn't something to sneeze at. That's money, and that's why for me, the $1,000 with Barry's wasn't something I was just going to let go either and just sit on. It's kind of principle. What's this say? What did he say? I know it's off topic.
Dwight says, because Dwight's out there, so we're gonna probably meet Dwight out there. So, real quick before I got to conclude this live stream because I got to go do some other stuff. But so, for those that are out there, we're gonna be at Mimo's, Long Beach, California. Just look it up. I don't know the address. Look it up. It's Saturday. Just say like 11-ish.
Saturday.
It's Saturday. Just get down there like Saturday before noon. There'll probably be some people wearing like Hawaiian shirts. Nobody will have a Barry's watch. There'll be a different variety of watches on wrist. There'll be watches being sold at Mimo's for a very good deal. So it's Saturday. So
somebody wants to give me a Barry's watch, hit me up. I'll take one for free now. Not about ready to pay money, but if you don't like your Barry's watch, I'll still sport one, and that'll be part of the long story I tell for a long time.
I don't think I would.
You really? Oh gosh, I have no shame. I would still wear it. It's the watch. I like the watch. It's the company that I'm offended, right? I still think the watch is well designed, well, I don't know about well built. You had some problems with yours with the dust, but that can happen on any watch. It really can.
In
And
hindsight,
yeah,
I would have liked to have just cleaned it out. I would have wore it, but then, well, and you would have got yours, and maybe Will would have got his, and then we'd be talking like Barry's watches
it'd be like the few of
is
us that
not
all
great,
share
but you
these
will
in the
get it.
group. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And so that's another discussion. The watches, we don't like the company, the ownership, but we love the watch, right? I mean, glycine. A lot of people love glycine before Invicta purchased them, right?
Glycine's still good.
Right. Glycine's still amazing, but some people don't like them that they're just because they're owned by Invicta. I'll wear a glycine all
Oh,
day long if it's what I like.
so real quick, as you keep cutting out, and then we're gonna close out. I need to close
Yeah.
out, but
Yeah.
I can't help but think that some of these brands, when we buy them, we're buying them oftentimes from authorized dealers, gray market dealers, or whatever like that. And you kind of touched on that earlier in the conversation, and that's our uh, customer service experience, our purchase experience is with that dealer, right?
Yeah.
We don't have that connection with corporate or the brand owner or whatever it looks like in their
No.
infrastructure. We don't have that connection like you would with a micro brand owner, where I can buy something directly from Alan Zhao, or directly from Phil at Visitor Watch, or directly from Wes and Cullen at Notice, and I could
Yeah.
just keep going on and on with the micro brands.
Sure.
And they offer those.
Borealis. He's,
Carlos at Borealis,
yeah.
or his wife's running it now, but I still talk to Carlos. But like, you have those direct line of communications with the brand owners, and we kind of had that almost with Barry's watches, and they completely failed. Whereas if they were to set up an infrastructure of inventory with authorized dealers, we would have never maybe experienced that. So, and
No,
that's how, like,
interesting.
when I'm wearing
Interesting.
like a Seiko, I don't buy it from, so and so, Mr. Seiko.
Whoa. Seiko Vice President of U.S. Retail Sales
Gave me a watch.
popped that damn one off his wrist. I was there and said, Rob,
Yeah, but you
here
know
it
what you
is.
know what
Here
I'm
you
saying.
go.
Like when I buy a
Are you
Seiko,
kidding
I'm
me?
getting it from
That
Nemo. I'm
influenced
getting it from
you.
Exquisite. And I have great customer service experiences with them, even when I actually just straight up buy it.
True.
Versus,
Yeah.
um,
I talked to the owner of Barry's, so look at that. I mean, and you know what? And if they're having issues, Barry's and any company is, that's none of my business. It's not my problem. But don't take money and lead somebody on
yeah,
and be unresponsive. That's a dick move by anybody. Okay, I mean, it's real shitty. It's something they shouldn't do. And I think anybody, if you're not getting responses from a company and it's been a few weeks, protect yourself, do a chargeback if you can,
but advice
and
for that
get
company,
that going.
that
Yeah,
company, if they're terrible at customer service and fulfillment, outsource that. Just do
sure.
manufacturing. Stop trying to do everything,
Yeah.
because like I said, like I like that Graham watch, but maybe
Oh,
the owner of
the
Graham
Graham,
watch,
yeah,
maybe he's
yeah,
terrible. I don't know.
beautiful,
I don't know the guy. I don't even know who it is. I don't care.
cool
I
watch.
would buy it
Right,
from Exquisite.
Barry's is a cool watch. I just had a really bad experience along with a few other people, and it's a hard one to deal with. And I would love the opportunity to somewhere in the future have that righted, but not at my expense now. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would I take any risk whatsoever with a company who did this to me? And even you, with the platform you have, and some other people, and with the industry knowledge and people we talk to behind the scenes and shake hands and drink with and share stories. Um, yeah, you can make it right. There's a way to make that right, but it's not going to be at my expense or something I seek out, right?
Right.
And it doesn't mean it'll ever be righted publicly, but maybe behind the scenes things could happen in a positive way. I wish all companies the best and most success,
Sure.
and even the micro brands and the ones that are starting up. Recent one that I just got to meet, Canopy Watches.
Yeah.
The owner there,
Big Mac.
yeah, Big Mac, and great guy. Took time to spend with us in Washington D.C. and I wish that brand a lot of success. They've had 2 watches out, and they're coming out with another one soon, the Wake one. And this micro brand, watch them in the future. They're going to grow, and they're going to do anything to make it right for a customer, I imagine.
Right.
I've met him. He really cares about what he's doing and went all in. Sal watches, right? He wants
Greg
to do a
says
lot for people.
Barry's isn't a micro brand.
Oh, they are in my eyes.
I don't know what else you would
Micro-berry.
call them.
They're a micro berry.
A dingleberry.
Dingleberry.
Okay, so
there you go.
let's close this out. I'm getting tired, and you're cutting in and out. And so Mimo's Saturday. I'll see you guys there.
Wear
Calico,
colorful
thanks.
watches. Colorful watches.
Colorful shirts, colorful watches. I haven't decided what I'm wearing yet. I might go naked on the wrist.
Mimo's watches. He's going to have a good sale that day. I will tell you this.
Yes.
Cash price, very good.
Yes.
Only in store. If you're in Discord, I think Rob, you're going to share a special code for people, right?
If you're in my Discord, you don't even have to be there. You're still going to have a similar opportunity. I've already
advantages of being in that Discord. Advantages of being in Rob's Discord. You're going to get a code, and we're talking. He's got G-Shock. He's got Seiko. He's got Hamilton, Bulova, Citizen. He's got
Accutron.
the Barn Finds, right? Accutron.
Barn Finds. Yep.
He's got some watches. He's got strap-ons. He's got a lot of things there. And Mimo's really cool. He's into cars. I think he's got a Porsche, right? Hasn't he got a Porsche? Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's into some really exotic
I think you
cars.
listed an inventory item he might not have. There's other people there with watches on your wrist. Maybe you could trade or buy one of those too.
Absolutely. Who did I see there? Who did I see? Tall, bald guy, big eyebrows, wears black, and he's very deep in thought. And he's got a YouTube channel. Who was there? What's his name?
Jeff McMahon's going to be there.
McMahon. Yeah.
His buddy Carlos, Sir Carlos will be there. Anybody else that's listening to this and they think bad or evil thoughts, everybody that's going to be there is going to be wearing a watch that's worth $300 or less, and no one will have cash. I'm straight up telling you that right now.
Nobody has cash. Nobody has cash except Rob, because he pays for everything when you show up.
I have no cash. And I mean, I spend it all on coins, and I don't.
And we might hit a tiki bar. We might hit a bar in the area. There's going to be a lot of fun. If you're into watches and you want to meet some people that you see on YouTube, and you want to pick up a watch at a great price through an AD in Newport, California, you're in that area, be there on Saturday. It's just a really good time to meet some people who are into watches and some of the people you see interacting with in the YouTube community this weekend. So if you're there, I look forward to seeing you. Wear a Hawaiian shirt, and
please, if you're gonna go,
say
please,
hello.
like I know Dwight, you're listening still. Hopefully, wear a Hawaiian shirt, please. Thanks for watching, guys. Calico, thanks for joining, and I'll see everybody later. Barry's watches.